Good morning, and thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Libby Dowsett. Let's go ahead and head over to Corey Johnson with the latest on our forecast. Hi, Corey.
Good morning, Libby. Things are looking really wet outside today. Our Rose City cameras, we kick off the weekend. 50 degrees right now, but it is showering across many stretches. I want to give you a look at satellite and radar. We are seeing a system move through our area. Pretty active right now on radar. It looks like the heavier spots, though, sitting around Canby and Battleground at this time. This is a look from our seaside camera near the coast. A beautiful morning on tap. Also looks like some low hanging cloud cover out there at this time, but a nice calm breeze. Looking at our temperatures right now, upper 40s, low 50s in many spots, 49 in Gresham, around the 50-degree mark as we saw in Portland, 48 in Beaverton, also looks like 49 in Sherwood. So giving you an idea of what the rest of the day is going to look like. We are starting wet, obviously. We are going to be cloudy throughout the rest of the day, and really we're going to see these showers continue throughout really the late morning, early afternoon. We may see one small break during the early afternoon, but other than that, it is going to remain wet for the rest of the day. There's also a very slight chance we could see some thunderstorms, but that will be situated more toward the south, similar to what we saw yesterday. In the way of temperatures, going to bump into the 60s, though, even though we remain wet. We'll break down more of your weekend coming up.
Thank you, Corey.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.
And that is the moment the crew of Artemis II splashed down in the Pacific Ocean near San Diego late Friday afternoon. The landing marked the end of a 10-day journey where the crew traveled to the far side of the moon, reaching deeper into space than any human has traveled before. And for some, the Artemis II mission brings back the excitement of space exploration, like the memories of the Apollo missions and the first landing on the moon. And one person closely watching the splashdown, the director of space science education at OMSI in Portland.
Know that from this mission, he has inspired many young generation to be interested in science, interested in human exploration, all of that. And I couldn't ask for a better time that we need something like this now. Get excited.
All told, the Artemis II crew flew around 695,000 miles from launch to splashdown, going 4,100 miles deeper into space than the Apollo 13 mission. An update this morning, a grand jury has found Marion County Sheriff's deputies' use of force justified during an incident in Almsville last month. On March 29th, investigators say Brian Baker held his wife at gunpoint. As deputies went into the house, they say Baker fired a shot into the ceiling and then pointed the gun at them. Two deputies fired shots at Baker, but he escaped. Deputies were able to get Baker's wife out safely, but at one point they did not know his location. Here's a newly released radio traffic segment from that night.
We're all out of the house. We're going to lock it down. 34108 is the family out. Firm family's out. We do not have eyes on him.
They later learned Baker went into the garage and shot himself. Investigators determined Baker was hit once in the arm by a deputy's bullet, then died from the self-inflicted wound. The grand jury ruled the deputies were justified in firing shots given the threat. In Vancouver, police are investigating what they believe is a domestic violence homicide. The attack happened at the Oakbrook Apartments off of Northeast Oakbrook Circle near I-205. When police were called late Thursday night, they found a 33-year-old woman with significant knife wounds, dead inside the home. A 30-year-old man was also found with injuries that officers say were self-inflicted. The man was taken to the hospital. We do not know his condition at this point. A reminder, if you or someone you know has experienced domestic violence, you can call the Domestic Violence Hotline 24/7 at 800-799-SAFE or text the word START to 88788.
But that boy had such a big heart. He was so selfless.
We are learning more about one of the teenagers killed when a car crashed into the Willamette River. Police say 19-year-old Roberto Garcia Chavez was driving the car early Monday morning when it sped through Waterfront Park and hit a metal railing before going into the water. That was after an officer tried to stop the car for reckless driving. Roberto's sister tells us she can't explain what happened and is just trying to come to terms with the loss.
He's my brother, he's my best friend. I don't have that best friend to talk to. It's a tragic story. We cannot change what happened. It is what it is now, and we just have to learn to live in grace and move forward and just make sure that we don't repeat this.
She says her brother considered everyone in the car close friends who he called a second family. 2 others in the car were killed in the crash. The search continues for one of their bodies. The only survivor was rescued from the water shortly afterward. As the metro area finds ways to help the homeless, a new study from Portland State University looks at the challenges finding permanent housing. John Adams spoke with researchers involved in the study who say the results are eye-opening.
And they want the same things that everybody wants. They want that housing to be safe. They want it to be something within their means.
Portland State University Assistant Professor Kathleen Conti shared the findings of the Pathway study that interviewed over 540 individuals experiencing homelessness in 2025. Conti tells us 98% of those interviewed want permanent housing, but face a number of difficulties getting there, one being instability and displacement.
The active involuntary displacement, or sweeps as they might be known, is one of those things that contribute to that instability and maybe undermining efforts to get people into housing.
Conti says roughly 40% of those interviewed said they had experienced a sweep, and half of those individuals had been swept more than 10 times.
We're kind of moving the same people over and over and over again.
Those sweeps can set people back, causing them to lose important personal items or contact with case managers attempting to help them. Just one of the findings from the study Conti calls unique.
We worked in partnership with people who have lived experience of homelessness to do the entire study.
People like Andrea Andrew, who was homeless for a number of years. Andrew explained some of the issues people face getting into transitional housing.
They all have requirements, and sometimes those requirements are hard for folks to meet when you're coming straight off the streets.
Andrew calls the study important for quantifying the reality of what people experiencing homelessness have to overcome.
We need data or facts to be able to have organizations or anybody to put money behind it to make changes.
The main takeaway, according to Conti, the need for more affordable housing.
Affordability is the biggest cause of homelessness and the biggest barrier to people resolving homelessness.
And Conti tells us the majority of people who were able to move into permanent housing say good case management was the most important resource in helping them get there. Multnomah County is taking a major step with its immigration policy. Thursday, commissioners unanimously voted to codify sanctuary protections into county code. The ordinance and resolution embrace state sanctuary protections. They will outline laws around privacy and data collection, also ban the county from entering contracts tied to federal immigration centers, and block the use of county funds to enforce federal immigration law. The policy also defines restricted access as barring federal immigration authorities from entering certain areas without a judicial warrant.
I'm happy that we are doing that. I encourage us to push it as far as we think we legally can, not just because I think that that is our role, but I also believe this is not just a legal issue, it is a moral issue.
Leaders also approved $175,000 for legal services and rent assistance, plus another $75,000 in community grants and additional Metro funding for emergency support.